Hi, it's Paul from Paul Kelly Golf. I'm here at T-Box this morning. I'm waiting for a client to show up, and I thought I would go over the data parameters that you see when you hit a ball and explain what they mean. Now, a lot of people know what they mean, but some people may not. So for those people, I'm going to dig into them a little bit and explain what they mean when they come up and how you can use those to identify where you should be spending your time if you're practicing trying to improve. So let's hit a ball and have a look. All right, so that's not half bad. All right, so there's the strike. Let's go look at the data and see what's happening here. So I have a total distance of 184.6 yards. That's how far my ball went in the air and on the ground with roll. So that's my total distance. That's where the ball ended up when I go to find it again. I have a carry distance of 177.5. So that's how far my ball went in the air before it hit the ground. And this one to me is a much better one to work with. Knowing your carry distance is much more beneficial than knowing your total distance. So let me explain. Let's say you had a par 3 and the flag is at 160 yards and it's just over the water. Well, if you're clubbing for your total distance of 160, you're not accounting for the roll that it took to get to 160. So if you play your carry distance, you know what club to hit to carry it that far, and maybe even add in a little buffer zone. So practice and learn your carry distances. It'll pay off much better in the long run. Ball speed of 117.4. So that's how fast in miles per hour my ball left the club face when I hit it. It left the club face at 117.4. Now, for every mile an hour of ball speed that I gain from there, I'm picking up probably about 2.25 yards. So if you can increase your ball speed, then you're getting distance. Club speed, 87.4 miles an hour. That's how fast my club was traveling the moment it hit the ball. So my club was traveling 87.4 miles an hour and hit the ball, and then the ball left at 117 miles an hour. So that's my ball speed and my club speed. And that brings me to smash factor, which is the efficiency rating. It's a 1.34, which is pretty good for a 7-iron. Anywhere in that range means that I've hit it pretty good. So that is the ratio of ball speed to club speed. How much energy did I put in? How much energy did I get out? I swung at 87 miles an hour, then I got 117 miles out of it. So 117 divided by 87 would give me 1.34. And the higher that number goes, the better the strike, the more I got out of it, the more efficient my ball was. And the higher the loft of your iron, the lower your smash factor will be, because a lofted face will not produce the same amount of force on the ball as a flatter face. So your driver will always produce a higher smash factor than, say, an 8-iron, or it should anyway. That's a really good one to learn, because if you're swinging harder and not seeing your ball speed increase, then that means you're not efficient. You could probably even slow down, get more ball speed, because it's efficiency. Efficiency will override brute force most of the time. So launch angle is 17 degrees. That is how steep the ball left the ground in relationship to the ground being 0, and this angle launching upwards. And that's 17 degrees, and that's pretty well, maybe a little tiny bit low for me. I got it a little tiny bit thin. I'd like to see that around 19, but that's a pretty good launch, and I'm happy with that. Now, there's all sorts of charts out there that tell you what your launch should be at different speeds. The slower you swing and the less ball speed you produce, the more launch you would want to get out of it. If you are swinging really, really fast, you can get away with a little bit of a lower launch angle. But there's lots of charts out there that'll tell you what's best for you. Club path. Now, club path is the direction that my club is swinging in relationship to this invisible 0 line that goes back and forth from the ball to the target. If that's a 0 line and my club is traveling this way, it would be outside in. If it's traveling this way across the line, it would be inside out. So if you're a degree or 2 outside in or a degree or 2 inside out, for most people, it's not going to make a big difference. But you want to have that as a small number. You can't play golf with 5s and 6s and 10s and 12s as those numbers. That needs to be fixed. Impact position, it's showing center. So I hit the ball in the center of the club face. If it's showing toe or heel, it would be back here or here. When you don't hit the center, you lose ball speed, you lose distance, you lose control. So you want to make sure that you're not swinging at a speed that doesn't allow you to hit the center. If you're swinging fast and you're hitting the toe or the heel, you could slow down and hit the center and probably do better. The club face angle is the angle in relationship to being pointed square at the target and being either closed or open. And that's 1 degree. 1 degree is a pretty good club face. So 1 degree and a 1.8 path means this shot's going to be relatively straight. I'm going to have pretty good control over this. If you see your club face in numbers bigger than 4s and 5s, then that needs to be dealt with because it means you're giving away a lot of accuracy and distance. Apex is your overall maximum height. How many yards did my ball fly high? This one flew at 26 yards high, which is pretty good. I could probably use another couple of yards. I'd like to see that get to probably 29, 30, but 26 is pretty good. That's giving me that towering ball flight that's going to come down and stop pretty good. Spin. Spin is the back spin of the ball in RPMs, revolutions per minute. Now, there's a couple of different ways to look at this, and a couple of the big companies use ways that give you the same result, but they just measure it different. One company measures it that you take the loft of your club, you multiply it by 2, and then multiply it by 100. So I have a 30-degree 7-iron. So if I multiplied that loft by 2, it would give me 60. Multiply it by 100, give me 6,000. So for me, 6,000 would be an optimum spin working with one of those companies. Another company uses a different way, and they say whatever number iron you have, subtract 1 from it, and then multiply it by 1,000. So once again, 7 minus 1 is 6, times 1,000 gives me 6,000. So both companies are coming out in the same goal. I was 5,400, so I'm a little bit low on that. Once again, I talked about it. I got a little bit thin. I lost some spin. It probably cost me 500 or 600 RPMs, which would have put me right back in the wheelhouse perfect. So that's your data parameters. When you see them come up on the screen, that's what they mean. If you're looking at a couple and you really want to work on 1 or 2 things, your swing path, your face angle, and your smash factor are the ones that you should maximize, make sure that they are optimum for you. A swing path should be relatively neutral, and a face angle should be relatively neutral, and your smash factor should reflect a good strike. Anyway, that's the look at data. If you have any questions, please leave a comment there and I'll answer it for you. And if you like the content on this channel, please engage with it. Hit subscribe, hit like, share it to your friends, leave a comment. When you do that, the channel gets sent out to other people like you who like this type of content, and they'll engage and the channel will grow, and I'll keep posting more content. Thanks again for watching. I'm Paul Kelly.